The official birth of Culture Machine was in Vegas, in this hotel called the Venetian. So I was 21 and I'd just finished uni, so I did a 3-year course at UTS Media Arts and Production. So I graduated and moved to Bali and met up with these girls that had a fashion label, and they said to me, do you want to come to Coachella with us and document everything that we're doing over there? And I was like, yes. I'd never traveled on my own before, I'd never been to the States, so I just hopped on a plane, got over to the States and just followed them around. And we were on the way back, we stopped in Vegas and they were all out gambling. I spent my 50 bucks and was done. Went up to the hotel and I was like, right, I've got all this content, all right, I want to put them up somewhere. So I started a Tumblr, and I remember reading in this academic journal when I was at UTS, just the words Culture Machine. So I had that name and then I just started culturemachine.tumblr and started uploading my work. Then I got back from that trip, went to Bali, and I was like, you know, I could totally start something like a collective or something, you know? And I don't want to do this on my own. I never wanted to be Yasmin Suteja photography. It wasn't something I wanted to do. I liked photography because I liked being able to create something with people. So I found a stylist, found a makeup artist, and started working together. We were just doing editorial shoots in Bali, trying to offer something different because I was so inspired by like Sydney and Melbourne street style, and I'm very urban in the way that I like to shoot. Bikinis and stuff were the only jobs I was getting over there. It's like, oh, we have a bikini brand. Can we shoot it on the beach and get the girl to hold the bikini up here? And then maybe we'll get some water and get her to pour it on her body. And like, I was just overdoing the same thing over and over again. So I was like, got this team on the side, like, let's do some random stuff. Let's do some stuff that we see in magazines over there and try and do it in Bali. So I'd go into like the depths of Denpasar, which is kind of like the city version of Bali. It's pretty grimy and grotty. And I'd look for like peeling paint walls and I'd be like, oh, that'd be great for a shot. And like really try and offer something that didn't look like it was anywhere. You can't say, oh, that's Bali. And then I was just lucky to get this Tiger Mist job. So it's like, oh, I'm looking for a photographer and a whole team for this campaign. So that model ended up being Sahara Ray before she started modeling, and Mimi Elashiri was her friend that was there, and I ended up shooting this whole thing and had the stylist and makeup artist. It was like my kind of production. And then it became known that Culture Machine was involved with social media influencers. So I pretty much lived with like most of like the Instagram influencers you would know of in Sydney. Because they'd go to Bali and they'd be there for like 2 or 3 weeks and I'd shoot them. And I'd be like, wait, while you're here, I might as well tee up some jobs. And so I would kind of pitch social media packages to the brands that were in Bali based. Most of the Aussie brands produce over there anyway, all their factories are there. So I started doing that, and then every few weeks brands would go, who's in town now? Who's in town now? I've got this girl coming, she'll be here for 3 weeks. And I did that for 2 years in Bali. And during that time I met Kale, who's my boyfriend, and he's a filmmaker. So we started doing things together, and I would pitch photography, video, and I would location scout and I'd do the mood boards and everything. And then I would tee it up with whatever model we had in town as well. And I just sort of went, yep, I think it's time to move. I think it's time to go back to Sydney and expand, because there are so many bigger projects I wanted to work on that I knew I wouldn't be able to do in Bali. So I moved here, we moved into this house. It was me, Kale, my brother Kai, and Luca. I was managing Kath. I'd been managing her for about a year, I think, without being in the same place and booking her jobs. So that was a huge motivation to move back. It was really hard to do things over the phone and over email. But as soon as I moved here, everything just accelerated so fast. So yeah, so that's what the last 1.5 years has been about. It's been creating this concept of a group of people who are creatives and are filmmakers, photographers, screenwriters, comedians, whatever, but also have the ability to work with brands to